passionate about. So today we'd like to talk to you about sleep and the importance of it. So before we start, I want everybody to think about what time they slept last night. So Daphne, what time did you sleep last night?
I think around 10.
10, alright. So how were you this morning? Were you energized?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. Alright.
Okay, let's ask somebody else. Shannon, what time did you sleep last night?
I think around 2.
Okay, so Shannon slept at 2 a.m. How's your day been so far?
I'm very tired.
Very tired. Okay, so have you ever pulled an all-nighter, perhaps to study for that test or to finish that presentation for biology or your English IOP, or maybe you have a Mandarin oral the next day and you want to get your tone right, or maybe Spanish dialogue, thinking sleep is probably the last thing I need. Now, most of you think that an adequate amount of sleep is time wasted or isn't necessarily important.
Some of you might probably believe this. So let me talk to you about a case of a 26-year-old guy named Zhang Shaoshan, and a die-hard fan of the European Championship game. So as reported by Time, this guy was awake for straight 11 days. He didn't sleep just to watch the European football game. Because of the time difference between Europe and China, the game didn't begin until between 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. So what happened? He died. And one of the doctors said that Zhang was in a good health, but then staying up all night, watching the football game, and while drinking, while watching, weakened his immune system and triggered his condition.
Sleep is not important. Do you still think otherwise? In closely watched experiments, scientists have discovered that humans can only stay awake for 11 days. And during the experiments, the volunteers experienced severe problems with concentration and perception the longer they were awake. One of the volunteers actually mentioned seeing giggling, dancing pixies and elves in place of text in his computer screen.
Okay, so if you remember, about a week ago we sent out a survey, and these were the results. So as you can see, 9% of this school population have only slept less than 4 hours. 42.7% slept around 5 to 6 hours. 34.8% had 7 hours sleep, 8.9% and 3.3% were the only ones who were able to get the adequate amount of sleep. So, for example, those in middle schoolers should be having 9 to 11 hours, upper schoolers around 8 to 10 hours, and the rest in this MPA should be having 7 to 9 hours of sleep.
We may claim that we get our daily dose of exercise, we eat healthy, but if we don't get the right amount of sleep, can we really be healthy? Can we consider ourselves healthy?
In general, the older we get, the less sleep we need. This can give us an idea of why sleep is so important, especially during childhood, for both growth and brain development.
We're all guilty of blaming our sleepless nights to homework. Yeah, we're all hardworking students in here, but if you schedule your bedtime and actually follow it, it's not that difficult to get the right amount of sleep.
So I want you to look at the person sitting next to you.
If they look like this, or perhaps this, they're sleep deprived. Okay, so for those of you who feel exhausted and have frequent mood swings, put your hands up. Well, for those of you who feel exhausted and have frequent mood swings, put your hands up. You're fatigued. If you're forgetful, keep your hands up.
Okay, so have you examined around your eyes lately? Do you think it's puffy as the it puffy? If it is, keep your hands up. Impatient? A little bit aloof? If your hands are still up,
You're sleep deprived. When you lack sleep, certain areas of your brain, I'll show you. Okay, so here we have the brain. So certain areas of your brain begin to shut down. So the reticular activating brainstem will begin to burn out the longer you try to stay awake, because this part is in charge of keeping you awake.
moreover, your limbic system will start firing, causing hallucinations. Since homeostasis within your body is altered, your hormones are not as regulated, and this can cause obesity. This can also cause a lot of heart attacks and depression.
By now, you're probably thinking, oh, if I just have extensive amount of sleep, then I'll be invincible. But sorry to burst your bubble, but too much sleep is not good for you either.
Sleeping too much can raise depression risk. It can also give you higher risk of obesity and diabetes, and most importantly, it could impair the brain. We don't give enough attention to how much sleep is needed.
Many of us give surprisingly little attention and care for it. There is a major misunderstanding. Sleep isn't lost time, or just a way to rest when all our important work is done. Instead, it's a crucial function during which your body balances and regulates its vital system, affecting respiration and regulating everything from circulation, growth, and immune response. So again, it affects everything from respiration, regulation, growth, circulation, and immune response. So what really goes on in your brain while you sleep? Sleeping is an intensely active period of restructuring. This is a crucial process for your brain and affects how our memory works. Having a good memory is probably something most of us don't have. During the 19th century, Hermann Ebbinghaus stated that we normally forget 40% of new information within the first 20 minutes. We call this the forgetting curve phenomenon.
But this loss can be prevented through our memory consolidation.
Think positive.
Okay, I'm positive you will get lost in there. That's long-term memory. Endless I read about it.
The manuals! You read the manuals!
Yeah.
So you know the way back to headquarters!
Yes.
You are my map. Let's go! Lead on, my map! Show me where we're going!
Okay, only I just have to walk. Just give me a few hours.
Move! Which way?
So as you see from the movie Inside Out, memory consolidation can transform the new knowledge we obtain from our short-term memory to a more reliable long-term memory. This process is aided by the part of the brain that we call the hippocampus. We know this because of Brenda Milner's 1950 experiment.
Henry Molaison, known as HM, highly contributed to the understanding of how memory works. Before his operation, it was believed that the whole brain was involved in memory. After the operation, it was localized in one area,
The hippocampus. So after HM's hippocampus was removed, he wasn't able to form new short-term memories. Instead, what he was able to do was to learn physical tasks through repetition.
This revealed that the hippocampus was specifically involved in the consolidation of long-term declarative memory. When your brain takes in new information, that information temporarily lingers in our neurons as short-term memory.
So this, people, is your brain cells, or what we call the neurons. This is how they communicate. So once they've gone to the hippocampus, they establish a neural network which can transform the short-term memory to the long-term memory.
So, you must be wondering, how is this all related to sleeping? Well, one of the major factors contributing to memory consolidation is a good night's sleep. Through EEG machines, scientists are able to monitor the electrical impulses moving between the brainstem, the hippocampus, thalamus, and cortex, which all serve as relay stations of memory formation.
So sleep is composed of 4 stages. As you can see from the projector, stage 1 to stage 4 is what we call the REM sleep, or the slow wave sleep. So in these stages, all the declarative memory is processed. So can I get a volunteer who can tell me their number, who memorize their number? Cell phone number. Guys, take note of this.
What?
Go get it.
0919-4761-267.
So that is processed in the anterior part of the hippocampus. And that is one example of our declarative memory. So moving on to the non-REM sleep, or what is also called the deep sleep mode, is where your procedural memory is processed. So I want you guys to stand up, please. Stand up and follow my friend over here.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a series of movements and you just have to repeat after me. Okay, so early in the bed. Okay, I'll go upstage, you can see better. Okay, so just follow me. Early in the bed, early in the rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, let's do that one more time. Early in the bed, early in the rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Okay, now I want you guys to sit down. What you just did a few seconds ago was called the procedural memory. And this procedural memory, declarative memory, is processed while you're sleeping.
Therefore, based on the studies, hopefully you can now see that skipping on sleep does not only harm your long-term health, but also makes it less likely that you will retain all that knowledge and practice from the previous night.
In knowing and understanding all this, when you think about it, all the internal formation and reconstructing all occurs when you're sleeping. So you can proudly say you wake up every morning with a new and improved brain, ready to take in new knowledge.
Okay, so I want all of you to imagine yourself sitting in front of your laptop with all your assignments laid out in front of you due the next day. You procrastinated, constantly stopping to complain and doubt yourself. The list was endless. But now it's all done. You studied for that exam, you finished that essay, but you realized how much sleep you could have had if only you did it earlier.
Instead of closing your books or your laptops, you start to doubt your brain. You can simply bear the idea of failing tomorrow's unit test. So you tell yourself, I need to study more because sleep is for the weak.
Your eyes start to droop as your head starts to swing. Words on the book start scrambling, and it's like reading Chinese. The worst part is actually Chinese. Let out a big sigh and shake your head, hoping that it will shake away your stubborn mind. In these efforts, hours pass by. Minutes that seem so long, yet shortly fly. You realize that time has deceived you as you see the sun creeping back up.
So how many times do you see the sun rise and look up and realize that it's rising again? Those endless hours fly past as we lose vital hours of our lives. Next time you find yourself in that situation, maybe the best solution is just to sleep on it.
So, tonight, in dedication of this TedEd talk, can we all sleep maybe at 10, finish all our work, and sleep by 10? As a community, as a school. So that was a lot to take in. And maybe we should sleep on it. Let our brain undergo memory consolidation. And I hereby dedicate the rest of our presentation to a power nap. Okay, so we're gonna play music, and you can all relax, empty your minds, and just take a nap.